Welcome to another ICP update. So as you can see, we got another low in the B wave right here, and we were actually very close to getting another low in the second wave as well, which, like I said many times in my previous few videos, it would have not been the end of the world. And honestly, I don't even know why ICP got this dump right here. Not many altcoins actually got this dump, so this was kind of weird. But this can happen, and also this is not surprising, considering the fact that Bitcoin dominance is at new cycle highs, and ICP has not really reacted to it over here, so of course at some point it had to react to it, and yeah, that's why we got this dump. But keep in mind, we went to the oversold territory on the 4-hour chart, and usually when that happens, we pump. Well, of course, we did not do that here or here or here, because at the end of the day, Bitcoin dominance was still going up during that time. But as you can see, we actually got it bounced after we almost got to the oversold territory on the 4-hour right here. So, and the same thing happened here and here as well. So I think we'll get a bounce very, very soon. And if we do, we should get to at least the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup, which is currently at $13.79. Now keep in mind that will only complete the C wave of the third wave, and that will be the third wave as well, and that will not confirm that the second wave move down right here is actually in. To confirm that the second wave move down is in, we will still need a fourth wave and then a fifth wave, and that will only complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup right here. And then after that, we will need another 4 or 5 setup, and only then, after we get this fifth wave right here, then I would be able to confirm that the second wave move down is actually in. Also, the third wave right here should get to at least $16.13.5, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup right here. Now, let's talk about what's happening here. So as you can see, we went below the support level. Let me actually move this, and let me actually fix this, because it was not accurate. So yeah, we went below it, but there is a chance that we bounce right now. But keep in mind, we also broke below the triangle right here. As you can see, we actually had 3 touch points on it. Well, actually 4 or 5. And now we dropped below it. And, if we do not manage to recover from this and get back inside it, then it's going to be very likely that we get another low in the second wave move down right here. And then here as well. And it's likely that we drop below $5 and let's say 89 cents or so, whatever this low right here is, before we actually start bouncing in a third wave move. And even if we do that, like I said, it would not be the end of the world, because at the end of the day, ICP is still very far away from invalidating its structure. As you can see, the invalidation point is at about $2.83, and honestly, I don't think that will happen, but of course it could happen. And if you look at the daily RSI, it really does look like it wants to go to the oversold territory. So if that happens, that would be bullish, to be honest with you, because if you check out what happened here when we got to the oversold territory, that actually marked the bottom, and then we had a 900% punk. So that's good. And also keep in mind, this is also when we got a cross on the bull market support band. And what do you know, we also had a cross right here. Now, keep in mind, we don't have to get another low in the main second wave right here. We could start pumping now, to be honest with you, but if we get another low, then like I said, we have to stay above this low right here. And honestly, I think that's pretty much impossible. Right now, I don't think it is possible to get to these levels, unless Bitcoin decides that it wants to drop to like 30K. So yeah, I think it's very, very unlikely that we drop to like $2 and get a new bear market low, which leads me to believe that even if ICP gets another second wave move down, it will still get a third wave when the altcoin season starts. Now, before I talk about the altcoin season, let me look at the Bitcoin chart as well, because this is very important, especially for ICP, because, ICP likes to follow Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin goes up, then of course ICP will go up as well. Now, ICP will most likely not go up as much as Bitcoin, because Bitcoin dominance is currently at new cycle highs, but that does not mean that ICP will not go up at least a bit if Bitcoin goes up. So let's talk about the Elliott wave down here. We have a 1-2 setup, and right now we are working on the third wave of that 1-2 setup. and that third wave should get to the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup. And as you can see, we have an A-B structure of the third wave, and we are working on the C wave right now. And this C wave looks like it also has an ABC structure, and we only have the AB structure of the C wave and this AB structure of the green C wave right here, which means that at some point we need to get a C wave of the C wave of the C wave of the third wave right here to get to about $80,000. And honestly, I think it's possible that we do this month, because at the end of the day, I'm still expecting Bitcoin to hit 100K by the end of the year. And also, if you look at the Bitcoin monthly returns chart, as you can see in 2020, which was also a halving year, Bitcoin went up 43% in November, and it went up about 6% in 2016 as well, which was also a halving year. And even though this does not seem like a lot, if we do go up like 5.4% and we add this 2% right here, I mean, that would put us at about $74,000, which is a new all-time high. So even in the worst case scenario, even if we copy the 2016 cycle and not the 2020 cycle, I mean, that would still put us at new all-time highs. And also check out what happened in December. In 2020, we went up 47%, and in 2016, we went up 30%. So I sort of think that Bitcoin will hit 100K by the end of the year. And by that time, of course, Bitcoin dominance will top and altcoins will finally get their altcoin season. Now, we could start the altcoin season right now, to be honest with you. If Bitcoin gets a pump and the altcoins start outperforming it, which is very likely, because if you can remember, Bitcoin dominance is at new cycle highs. And it's overbought on the daily, it's overbought on the weekly, as you can see. And it's also almost overbought on the monthly. So it's very likely that we get a correction very, very soon. And I don't think we'll get a correction while Bitcoin goes down. I think this correction will happen when Bitcoin actually starts going up and not down. So if we're getting pumped to new all-time highs right now, I mean, that could start the altcoin season. And also keep in mind, Bitcoin dominance always goes down in November. It always went down in November in the past 9 years. So there is no reason to believe that it will not go down in November this year as well. And also, if you check out what happened last cycle, which is right here, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance was going up in September and October, and then it went down in November. But as you can see, it still put in another high before getting this correction right here. And if you zoom in on it, which I'm not going to do, you'll see that Bitcoin dominance actually continued going up for the first 3 weeks of November, and then it dropped at the end of November. And that's when some altcoins actually had a 100% pump. And of course, we don't have to do exactly what we did over there, but judging this by the fact that Bitcoin dominance always goes down in November, I think it's very likely that we do exactly what we did over there. I mean, we just put in a new cycle high in November, just like in the previous cycle. But of course, this was a new cycle high. This was just a new high after this low right here. But even so, I mean, they're kind of comparable. And yeah, I think we'll get a correction, which will hopefully start the altcoin season. Now, I don't know what will happen in December. There is a chance that Bitcoin dominance continues to pump in December, and we go to like 64%, and then we get the altcoin season in January. But even so, I still think ICP will form some kind of 5-wave move very, very soon, and we'll get to about $20 by the end of the year, and then to about, let's say, at least $87 by, let's say, May or June of 2025, which will most likely mark the top for the altcoin season. And I don't know if we will get a third, fourth, and fifth wave, or if we will only get an ABC structure to the upside. But honestly, that does not really matter right now. What matters is that we actually start the third wave move. I mean, the third wave is usually, well, the third wave is always the most impulsive move of the cycle, so it does not really matter if we get a 4 or 5 after that. What matters is that we start the third wave, which, like I said, could get to the 1.618 extension of this previous high right here, which is at about $139, and then we drop in the bear market, and we'll see what happens after that. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice, and if you really enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want to support the channel, and if you want access to all of our charts. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.